Here's my review for Space Dandy Season 1. So Space Dandy, um, this is a guy who's a dandy character archetype. If you're big into animes, you kind of know who that character is. Most of the characters with that crazy hairstyle, that pompadour, who has this, they're kind of flirty, perverted, but they have a sense of honor. A lot of times they're called dandies, and this show is called Space Dandy. He's a dandy guy in space. Um, it's a comedy, of course, and a pretty good one. Now, in this show, the main character, who is named Dandy or Space Dandy, he travels around, and his job is to find aliens that haven't been discovered, bring them to a place, and get paid for discovering them. He travels around with a robot called QT, and eventually a cat that's named Meow, and they just get into all kind of shenanigans. It's a unique anime. If I was to try to explain to you what it's like, you would have to imagine Cowboy Bebop and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4 fused together, while removing any serious bits that either one of those shows have. And what you'll get is Space Dandy in this first season. It's about 12 or 13 episodes, and for the most part, all of them are standalone episodes. There's a branching, connecting story band with people chasing Space Dandy. This big, huge galactic empire who wants him because, for some reason, it's never really explained. But he always comedically avoids him. And what I will say about this anime, the really good parts about it is that each episode is standalone. Very similar to Cowboy Bebop. Just the randomness of the things that these guys get into. It takes place across a bunch of planets. They love going to this Hooters type place called Boobies. Really, the only reason why they work is so that they can have money to go to Boobies, more or less. And yet, it is still just this excellent thing. What I really liked about the anime, though, probably the thing I liked the most, was that it was more than just a comedy. It had a lot of episodes that had some heart in it. And a lot of times those dandy characters show that here and there. Like, a lot of times they're just a joke and, they're for laughs. But every once in a while they do something real gentlemanly or heroic. And they add that into this show. But he's a complete pervert too. And I watched the dub version of this, the English dub, and it is pretty excellent. Like, I had no issue. I didn't feel compelled to go watch it sub. Another thing I really liked about this anime was its soundtrack. It has a really, really solid soundtrack. Very catchy opening song. I'm gonna see if I can throw it in on this video, but very catchy opening song. Very, very good sounds. Very good animation. This is very high quality here. I think it was made by Bones. And the characters are fairly funny, especially Dandy. Like I say, even though it's a comedy, primarily a comedy, it's not the funniest thing ever, but it's smart comedy. It's like they do some things that's right on the nose. I think I hear some people compare it to like an anime Johnny Bravo, but just not as in your face as a Johnny Bravo. Like I say, really JoJo Bizarre Adventure, Diamond is Unbreakable, fused with Cowboy Bebop. Just the comedy aspects and the plots, kind of the setups of those two shows fused together is what Space Dandy is. Now, I guess it will come down to the fact of what I recommend you watching. If you're in the mood for a comedy that got a little heart, I definitely would recommend it. like I say, the first couple of episodes didn't really impress me. But as the show went along, I became more and more impressed by the various situations that these characters found themselves in. I'm definitely gonna go and watch the second season. But this anime made me feel compelled to do a review. I do this channel mainly with games, but I also watch a bunch of anime. I watch wrestling, I read some comics, all in my free time. And I say, well, why not? I'm gonna go ahead and review some of those things too, provide content to the channel. But yeah, I definitely recommend checking out Space Dandy Season 1. I watched it on the VRV app, which is a combination of Crunchyroll and Funimation and some other things. If you get a chance, check it out. And until the next review, peace.